Well, hello everyone. Welcome into Flying with Mike. Today we are on the line here to place those of us in Ohio who have been kind of raised a little bit in Ohio may know of this campus, but other than that, many don't. Ohio University. Now there's at least, I believe, no, it's not another branch. My bad. I thought it was a branch. Well, there are a couple up in Lancaster and places like that of Ohio. But this one's down in Athens, Ohio, southeast Ohio, right up against the Ohio River. However, the airport moved many years ago from the location pretty close to right on campus out to this little town called Albany. Reason being, the hills created a lot of trickiness and downright nerve-wracking incidents, and so that's why they came out to a little bit of a flatter part of the county. Enough history. Today's flight is from Ohio University Airport. We're making a Sporty's run, as I like to call it, Sporty's Pilot Shop. Those of you very fluent with aviation, with probably real-world accreditations, very well know what Sporty's Pilot Shop is. Located in a town called Batavia, Ohio. It's over towards Cincinnati. Clermont County Airport has been home to them. Well, I've known them since 1983 out there. So for sure 84, but I will lay odds they were there in 83. It is a pilot's It's a pilot's shop. I mean, anything and everything you want is there. So, if you get a chance, look them up online. You won't be disappointed with what they have. All right, but that's where we're headed today. It's a very simple flight. Now we're starting off in marginal conditions. We may be able to transition into VFR flying, but I'm kind of, after looking at some toolkit, a little skittish. So we are going to go ahead. This was scheduled to be a VFR flight. However, with the way the weather has been, especially now that Milton has finally, hopefully, said its last hurrahs, weather is moving, and yeah, we're starting to get rain back into some pretty dry areas over the last couple of weeks. All right, and again, Piper Arrow 3, this one is from vFlyte. And I didn't have enough room, folks. That's why you don't have it. Exclamation mark Arrow. Before we go into the break, if you want to get your grubby paws on it, there you go. A link right to it. You get 2 aircraft folders, one for the E1000, I believe it's called. Yeah, E1000, and one with the G5. Oh, setup. And again, folks, before we get going, please excuse me. I could be yawning quite a bit. Not my normal, just because I plant my butt in this chair and all of a sudden I start yawning. No. Mentioned it yesterday that the little 6-month-old that we watch here in our house pretty much on a regular basis, well, I don't know if her virus worsened or nerves kicked in. But last night, she continued to run the fever. I mean, when she takes Tylenol, she does. It's like, you know, Jekyll and Hyde. She's Hyde. Make sure I get it right. Yeah, Hyde before the Tylenol goes in, and the Tylenol turns her back to Dr. Jekyll. Or the other way around, however that story went. Gosh, it's been so long since I've dealt with that story. But anyway, she kind of just metamorphs. Well, in the process, she threw up most of her formula and Tylenol, but at the same time wasn't breathing. Of course, that scared the crap out of a lot of people here. And going on doc's orders to the ER. Very long night. Got to the ER around, and you all know this kind of story. Get there at about 8 o'clock at night. Don't get home until 5 in the morning. So yeah, add to it, I have no idea what day it is, folks. I actually did have time now after my wife got home from getting a few more things. We could have flown those flights, but it's a good thing. You know, we can postpone them. We'll be super fresh, and they'll be even better that day. And I know a lot of y'all like seeing this aircraft, so including this guy. So, all right, so let's pre-brief. Let's get going, shall we? All right, we're going to bring some toolkit up. He says, oh, no, we're not, because I minimized it. There we go. All right, so you can see, technically, it should be raining. We're going to head down to ZELID up to Batavia. Now, this doesn't really do justice. So, what I'm going to do, show you, hang on a second, I69 is the airport. All right, so to pilotage, if we wanted to do the good old straight line run, folks, look at that. We're going through 2 MOAs. Probably not active right now. I'm not looking them up. I guess I could show you how you do that on a sectional. Whoops. You come over here to the tabs. Oh, they're on here somewhere. Somewhere out there. Here they are. You look for your Buckeye. Here we go. 5,000. 102, but not including 5. That's Bush Creek. Disregard. Altitude 5,000 feet, Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock. 22, and I believe these are local times, if memory serves. If not, please correct me in the chat. And then Saturday, Sunday, same thing. Indianapolis is frequency there and all. So that's how you would find out when and what levels they're active. And I'm just not going to play with them. So hang on a second. Let me, oh, I went way too, where in the heck am I? There we go. Huntington. I'm like, wait a minute, where are we? So you could see that's how we would do it. Now, what our flight is going to do, oh, XYTR0O, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for joining us. Okay, we'll just come down to ZELID. Now, we have to worry about right here. Now, technically, I could take it to Boster and right on in. So, you know, we'll keep it like this. And actually, this kind of almost looks like maybe final approach. We'll see. Anyway, that's all there is to it. Now, we had somebody over on YouTube. I'm not going to look up his name or her name. Asking about this program, Sim Toolkit. As you can see, there are a lot of tools here. Great flight following here. Put your routes here. You got great flight planning and tools here for your logbook, your fleet, screenshots of any real airline ops. The one I use a lot off stream to help me guide me where we're going is right here, the flight schedule. You can do real world, put your departure point in, or put in the destination. And then whatever airplane you decide to fly, or just kind of look at what's all there. So really great tools here, folks. The other great tool that Sim Toolkit has is down here at the bottom. This little settings tab manager option, sprocket settings looking thing. Click on it and you can then add different sources you use so that you can put it all into one place. I have a link to NavGraph, SimBrief. DATIS is a US only. It's pretty much just the US 48 states, Hawaii, Alaska, and Puerto Rico. When you look at a chart, if it says up in the upper left corner where the frequencies are, DATIS, you can come here and look at it physically. So let's just do this. We're going to be close by CVG. Well, there, so you would bring it up, and it's the same site, folks, that if you were to go here, make sure I spelt it right, same site, I just put it here to use in conjunction with flight planning. All right, so there's CVG. You can see the Columbus is on here, Charlotte, Cleveland, Dallas, Love, DCA, Reagan, and so forth. I mean, there's, I don't know how many in here. Not every airport has this, folks. Not every towered airport has this. It is what I'll call some of the more major airports. And we, you know, and we can snibble over, really? You're calling El Paso a major airport? Yeah, I get it. So, But let's look at CVG. I've got a departure ATIS. This is this is what pilots tune into and listen to on their radios as of 20 minutes ago. 30 minutes ago, my bad. So literally you could be in Hawaii, Tokyo, London, pick your city out in the world, use that link I gave you in the chat, or vFlyte, because it's part of vFlyte, and you can actually get what the tower is telling the pilots on the ATIS. So currently, what's in use at CVG? Departing runways 27. Okay, this is the departure ATIS. And then it's going to give you a brief rundown of how the airport is, NOTAM-wise, and such. And also, most of them will give you a little bit of weather. Okay, now for the arrival side of the house, expect an ILS for 36 right. Read back your holds and, you know, all of that garbage you're used to. There it is. This is real world. So that's what the real pilots are getting. So I like to show it from time to time. And like I said, sim brief, and then here's our route. Let me see if I've got weather turned on. No, I do not. All right, so I've got the weather back on, and that's under layers, so you can kind of get a feel of what we're dealing with. We got a little better chance of rain up here and scattered about. I know some is beginning to move in between Middletown, Lebanon area down to Cincy and further south. So we'll kind of pay attention, but like I said, for really out of safety's sake, we're going to fly this via IFR. Okay, so for the flight today, 2 people, 110 pounds of cargo, 460-pound payload, block fuel of 186 pounds, and 6,000 feet. So we'll cruise at a manifold pressure of about 2,200 or 2,300 on the props. We'll show you that once we get in flight. Now, this actually was set up for a Cessna 182 retract gear, RG. And pretty close to the performance specking of this plane. Don't get me wrong, folks. They're not exact, but they don't have an arrow. So that's sim brief. So I'm just kind of working with what will work. And we are actually online already, and we're pretty much ready to go. If you are, and if you don't mind wanting to get in the air early. All right, the arrow is actually a really cool add-on. If you get the chance, it's worth it, folks. Now, I can't speak for what, oh gosh, Thronda brought out. I think it was Thronda. But the only critiques I really have come in the visual look, and I think the windows are maybe a tad too big, maybe. But overall, that's a Piper Arrow. Folks, I got a lot of hours in this plane. Real world. I love this plane. This is between the Piper Arrow and the Piper Saratoga or Cherokee 6. Now I kind of, I like to kind of soup it up. I like the RG. I like retractable gear. So that was then called a Lance. I just like the look of these two planes. The difference being, one, the Piper Saratoga has another row of seating back here before this. Now, one thing about the Cherokee 180 Saratoga Lance, depending whatever it is that you're looking at, like this aircraft has 4 seats. Don't think you're going to fly 4 people and their luggage from here to wherever. Just don't even think about it, folks. Your weight and balance will not come out. Piper Saratoga or Lance, you might be able to fly 5 people with luggage, as long as it's not over, oh, I got to take the kitchen sink too. Come on, man. That we may have to say, leave it. But you have baggage area back here and one right here between the firewall. Well, the firewall then is here and there. But yeah, so you have flexibility with that CG to help make it work. Plus, you can load up more fuel to get where, you don't have to hopscotch all across to get somewhere. Again, weight. You got 4 people, say they're 200 pounds each. Yeah, right. Folks, that right there is 800 pounds. You're pretty close, useful loads right there before we may have to start scratching fuel. So it's a really big deal in these small aircraft, okay? Airliners, it's a big deal too, but they also have a much bigger profile to work with. So, all right, now comes with this options menu. And this is how you are to load it. Now, the neat thing I like about this menu, yeah, you can blow it up. So those guys with the glasses but still need them retuned every day, every year, it can be done. All right, so let's put, and you can set the weights, folks. All right, so now we said we needed, hang on, let me pull this back up. We are, by the way, not flying with a virtual airline. So, actually, yeah, we're not going to, I was going to say, could I fly with VUSA? And I'm not going to deal with it. All right, so SimBrief has us at 186 pounds. Now, folks, you will learn your gas weighs about 6, I think it's 6.5. So 28 gallons need to be in the plane. All right, so hang on. We also need 110. Notice how that is moving up top. Okay, that's close enough. Let's call it 28 would be 14. We'll just do this. Let's go ahead and put 20 in each side. And we're still 2,000 pounds under. So I could technically haul 4 people with this load, as long as we don't have much more baggage. All right, so there you have it. And with the fuel load at 40 gallons, we should be good. One other thing, and we're going to get into the cockpit here, and I'll bring this back up. First off, I'm going to, now you can open these from inside the airplane, or as you would, if I can find it, in the real world. Close them out here. Now, of course, you'd have to put the chocks and stuff in from that thing. But I can close the door here. Okay, let's hop in. Okay, door's closed. Now, this is not the kind of levers I had where you got that thing. Mine were actually you closed and pushed down. However, vFlyte modeled the upper latch. Oh, many people forget about that. Let me get the air conditioner on while we're sitting here. There we go. All right, so let me show you now from inside a couple of things. Okay, checklist is right here. Now, this is the vFlyte, or I'm sorry, G5 cockpit. On top of being tired, that cough is still here. Hopefully it won't get worse after being in Germ City. All right. So you got the nice digital display. Well, I can go back to the way I flew. Good old mana pressure, fuel flow, all of this. Or we can go here. Either way. We'll go with this for now. But a little tow tractor, I never saw one that looked like that, but not to say it isn't out there. So really a good loading aircraft. And yes, it's kind of a, let you, for a second there, I thought that was a triple going by on the interstate there. No, it's 2 or 3 trucks together. I was like, what? Sorry, easily distracted. So I hope y'all take it, to heart. I'm just trying to help show off the plane. I really think it's a good aircraft, and I think y'all ought to give it a try. All right, so hang on. That being said, let's get into flying it, shall we? So here's what the checklist. Whoop, where'd it go? Oh, there it is, hiding. Okay. So I'll kind of blow it up so you can see your different tabs. There is a pilot operating handbook that comes with the plane. Of course, every page says not for real flight, not for real flight, not for real flight. I get it. This is taken directly out of there. So I thought that was pretty good. And this is mostly your walk around, just so you get that. All right, now over here, before we start the engines, we always want to make sure the brakes are set, the circuit breakers, which are functional in this, are in, alternate air off, and you can read from there on. All right, and I know I took it away. I'm going to try this again. I did this one other time and it seemed to give me some troubles. All right, one more check of the weather before we blast out of here. We're calling rain, broken at 20, at 3,000, overcast 6 degrees. I'm going to try 2,500, folks, instead of 6. I'm a little nervous to get into the clouds. We actually iced up once, so that wasn't fun. All right, so let's get this bird started, shall we? Okay, prop lever is full forward. Oh, by the way, yeah, it does have av tab right here. You can get rid of the whole column or keep it. And in this over here, you can see right here how to get rid of it if you don't like it. A lot of pilots actually do put a tablet of some kind there. All right, and we'll show some other neat features here in a minute. All right, so let's get this thing ready to go. So the brakes, I actually go ahead, get rid of this because the brakes are right here. You would pull that back. Prop, again, full forward. Alternate air is closed. I think it says off, but over here, closed. And I want to say, and I can't prove it. I've got checklists for other aircraft that I flew. I've got the actual books, but I don't for the Arrow. For the life of me, I don't know what I did with that. Oh, because this is that era. Props, avionics switch. Oh, I got to remember because it's like always like right in front. Oh, it's right up here. Right here. Yeah, I'm reacclimating. It's been a couple months since I've flown it. And fuel on the desired tank. Now, be careful here, folks. Let's see if I can't zoom us so you can kind of get a feel for how this looks. Okay, off. That's your left. That's on the right tank. Is it seriously? Hang on a second. Oh, for a second there, I thought it was telling us how much is in it. I'm like, I would have never, that would be interesting. But no, it's not realistic. And we're ready to crank it up. All right, so what we do, crack the throttle about a ½ inch, and that'll give you the manifold and RPM you're going to want to warm up at. Okay, alternator and battery switch, otherwise known as your master switch. Electric fuel pump right next to it, on. Mixture rich. Then idle cut off. And prop clear. And that's how it really is done, folks. And then we get up here, we look at our oil pressure, we're good. Cylinder heads and oil will take a second. And you'll notice we're a little high on that. Warm up is about 1400. I mean, we're in the ballpark. Okay, alternators on. Proper and clear, mixture oil pressure. All right, so we're in the warm up. Now, part of why I don't like what they've, the book, there are some other things you could be doing, like right now. Like radios. And it's raining. Okay. Now, the good thing is that I would like these to, one of these or both, one to be a 530. I find that one a better radio or better comm. Well, we'll deal with 430s. They're fine. You and I click on it. Our fix is ZELID. So all you do is come down, inside knob, and folks, basically, if you're not sure what I'm doing, is this knob moves you down to it, this moves you, as you'll see, to it. And that's how you would do it in the plane, folks. How do you spell it? ZELID, okay. Enter, accept. Now, put in your destination. And I don't know if it'll go by eye. It did. Okay. All right, and there you go. Now, that will allow us, there are procedures, there's an NDB at Batavia, so we'll be able to, plus any procedures they may have here at this airport, which they do not. For departure, we could do. So we'll kind of hold off on that and then clear the flight plan. And there you have it. Now, I do like to put it on both while she warms up. Here, I'll do it all on this one. Just like if we were in the real thing. Okay, and oh, HI. There you have it. Both of them are uploaded. Now, frequencies. Bear with me here. Okay, so we'll pull this back for now. I'm going to bring charts in because we're going to be on a common traffic frequency. Now, overall, we are on, and it's not even set, so hang on. Wrong one, that's why. 1, 2, 8, 0. Okay, that's Unicom for VATSIM. Now, for this airport, CTAF is 123.075. There is no tower here, but that's your common traffic that you would announce to everyone what you're doing. No clearance is given. You just hand it out. So we'll put that in. 1, 2, 3, 0. What is it? 7, 5. Okay, and then we got the Unicom here. Okay, clear that. Go here. Monitoring guard. think. There we go. So again, we're monitoring guard. We're on. Everything's set. We're ready to go. Go ahead and bring this over. And VORs to worry about for our navigation. There are none. Now what we, that wouldn't have worked either. I was going to say we could have gone to road, come down, but there's still no navigation. This is strictly RNAV flying, folks. There's this imaginary point called ZELID, and then we go to the NDB. And where is, here it is. The NDB in Batavia. Sporty's is 245. I do not really know how to do this thing, but we'll give it our best. Okay, we're ready to go. All right, so back to the checklist, which you all now can't see. All right, taxi area is clear. Brake set, prop high, throttle. We're going to go ahead and bring her down to 1,000. The only things left to do, and again, you can set these to help you out in seeing them. All right, to use them, we're going to take off on a heading of 07. I find I can get there 070. We're just going to take up runway heading. Okay. And that's pretty much it. Now, we're going to fly. First off, what is our altimeter? Uh, 3006. Okay. Let's do it. Wet runway. Here we go. Break off. And we'll head out to Bravo. I need to check something real quick. Thought so. So, those of you new to aviation and kind of curious when you fly the Cessnas and what single engine aircraft like this, why is it always pulling to the right? Well, you see that blade. Think of the wind current being put out, because remember, it's pulling in the front and pushing you out the back to get you your speed. So that air current's going to come around and hit that tail to where it's pushing you to the right. So you counteract with left rudder. Also, you have this other entity, and it was very detrimental to pilots in World War II, called torque. Those big radial engines back there put out a lot. Those of you in DCS having troubles with the P-47 or some of those type aircraft, P-51, you don't fly it like a Boeing or an Airbus where you just ching-ching, put the throttle where you want it. You got to ease up and counter the forces as you do it. So, and then you get into situations where it's hard to find the center line like I am right now. Hey Austin, if you're watching the stream, you really want to impress people, have water coming in. My P is short, is very small for that. Yeah, I know. Wouldn't that be kind of cool though? That little bit of a window open, you look down and there's water on the inside of the window. Knowing him, he'll figure out how to do it. Unfortunately, by voicing my thought, that other side heard it too. Okay, bring it back up to 1,000. All right, let's do our run up here real quick. Brake set, throttle, 2,000 RPM. Intentionally left that window open. Okay, magneto check. Looking for minimum 175, max drop on each, 50 between the two. So how do we do that? Right on the numbers. Okay, so you come down to the key. I always did the right first. Okay. Everything looks good. Vacuum check. Vacuum gauge is in the green right there. Oil pressure, oil temps, all looking good for takeoff. Ammeter looking good right here. Annunciator press to test. Okay. check. All right, battery and alternator switches on, flight instruments checked, set. Fuel selector set, fuel pumps on. Again, circuit breakers all in. Alternate air closed. Props and mixture are set rich and full forward. Doors closed, air conditioner we don't have. We're ready to fly. Hang on, we find out what they call themselves here. University Airport, November 1089, Quebec, Piper Arrow, departing runway 7. Here we go, folks. That's uncommon traffic, by the way. Get on the runway. We'll close up our window. Nobody trying to sneak one on us, okay. And hopefully I told you the right information on the torque. Okay. Okay, let's close up the window hatch. All right, ready to go? Let's do it. Way, folks. Flaps we never used. went IFR. And I am going to go ahead with the all right, we're on our way. All right. All right, bear with me here, folks, as we level up. We're looking good. I just need to get some power on the phone. There we go. All right. Let's make sure we're not echoing. There we go. All right. Now I promised to show you a couple more things that are neat about this plane, but let's get into cruise here. Okay, now I know y'all are going, man, it's really noisy. Mike, could you turn it down? Sure. Put the headset on. Okay, taxi. Landing. Fuel pump can go off. Looking good on the fuel tanks. All right, and other airports that we could maybe get data from. Huntington. Hard to say if we're going to break any of this here, folks. Current temperature outside. All right, we'll just kind of hang here out of the cloudiness. And we're barely VFR. Marginal is a good call here, folks. So, all right, we're on our way. I hope you enjoyed. It wasn't a really one of my stronger takeoffs with this plane, but wasn't bad. We'll try to make up for it on the other end. Let's get off common traffic here. Back on Unicom. I really don't want to come down to 2,000 if I don't have to. Now, when I go outside the plane, it will be loud. I'm going outside the plane. Just protect your ears. Hang on a second here, folks. Pretty sure. I'm just checking something from an issue that cropped on us a couple days ago. I don't see it here, so it's got to be the video card. If you all weren't here, I believe it was Sunday's flight from Madagascar over to Zimbabwe. The water textures went completely black. Now, this is like the second, third time that's happened. The folks over at X-Plane, I sent this in because it was very annoying. But, you know, at least once we hit land, it looked just like you see here, albeit Africa. I got a message back from, hang on a second, somebody over at X-Plane, I'm not going to mention names, who also said had this problem weeks ago, deleted shader cache to fix it. What the heck? Well, never mind. I'm not going to ask the what because I kind of figure I know what that is. Where is it? If you guys know, hit me in the chat. Hit me on Discord. Would love to learn how to correct this. Hang on, I'm just clearing it up. And since I gave that out about Discord, I see it in the chat, but you may have just tuned in and heard it. Here's a link to our Discord channel. If you understand that, hey, I'd love to talk with you and give it a try. I mean, everything's worth a try once, right? All right, now, folks, it's just a game of monitoring things. Primarily this gauge right here. Monitoring, of course, you're still on course and your GPSs. Oh, wait, that's the wrong gauge. Sorry. We need to lean out. Now, when I do this, I want you to watch the EGT here. I'm going on a lot of years memory here, folks, so if I do it wrong, please Those of you doing this, let me know. Okay, it wasn't supposed to do that. All right, anyway, you lean it out till you get to your maximum, and then come back. Wait a minute, you get to your maximum. You set your needle, if I remember right. But this thing's coming back. No, we'll run that way. What we're doing is leaning out our gallons per minute used, which was something you really didn't know right offhand. We're at 8 gallons an hour. We'll go with that. And always keep an eyeball on everything else. And now our we were calling ourselves, whoops, wrong one, to 22 on the manifold, 23. Okay. All right, so 22 on the manifold. Okay. Now we'll take the props down to 23. Again, now that's set up for a Cessna 182. And then I watch my fuel here and here, and about every 5 gallons, switch over to keep it balanced. I will be right back. All right, folks, we're back with you. Sorry about that. Oh, what a day yesterday. But like I said, if anyone understands that message that I read to you from X-Plane, I'd be very much appreciative. And I also put in there, how do I do that? Is it a setting in X-Plane or on my video card or where? Deleted shader cache. So anyway, I mean, I'll have to probably Google it. So since I'm totally discombobulated on what day it is, thinking my meeting that popped up was today and it's actually tomorrow. Hence that's what put the kibosh on our 2 flights today. But this, folks, is VFR flying. Albeit, barely. Sorry, little hobgoblins, this Halloween I'm eating some of your candy. But again, I hope y'all are having a great Tuesday, and we're hoping things are getting somewhat back in order here, because this weekend we've all heard the stories. We're not going into it again. It's gonna be a madhouse, but it'll be fun. Oh, so I hope y'all enjoy this. If you're interested in the arrow, I didn't have enough. Oh, I need to change something. I just saw it. I think it's right here. Yes. Today's stream is definitely not to Sioux Falls, South Dakota again. And we'll get that over in Nightbot too, just in case someone exclamation marks today. There. All right, my bad there, folks. Totally forgot about that. But again, if you are interested, here is a link. It's just exclamation mark arrow. It'll get you how to get a hold of it. Again, with that purchase, you get 2 aircraft files. One with the E1000 panel, one with the G5. This is the G5. Same aircraft, just different panels. And you get the analog with them both also. So if you like that over high tech, even though you get the GPSs. Although, hang on, I can't remember. I may be thinking Thronda. So Ohio River right ahead of us, folks. When I went to college at Ohio U, I don't think I flew this way ever. Flew cross countries to Roanoke, MacArthur. Somehow MacArthur was involved because I mistook it for a different town. And something else. So, some great stomping times down here, folks. Enjoyed flying. Went up to Columbus a couple times, out to Dayton once. So it was a fun time there. And of course, we didn't have Arrows and Pipers there. We had Cessnas. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base had an Aero Club that I had joined and was building time there too. All right, folks, over the Ohio River. Weather is improving. So, yeah, the weather is down. I'm thinking about getting up a little higher. Kind of closer to my I think I will. Let's give it a try. We're IFR, so it's not like we technically can't. So, what kind of plans do y'all have this week as we begin to close in? I know many of you, your Saturday is going to be tied up between this side of the world and the other across the pond. So, good luck to you. My sim, I just don't think would hold up too much. Currently, we're pulling in, yeah, we're doing 43. And I got an airplane that'd be pretty tough to cross the pond. Give me enough fuel, I could. But, Hope you all enjoy it. All right, we are attempting to get up to 6,000 feet. Back over the Ohio. All right, so now it looks like we're going to get on top of the clouds here. Again, we are under IFR rules, so we are fine to be on top of this cloud deck. Looks like at least broken. My guess, overcast. Visibilities are, I mean, they might be 5 miles. So, Yeah, right now I'd say broken, but I'm pretty close to overcast call up ahead here. But yeah, pretty good weather for us. VFR guys, yeah, it's kind of low to the ground today. But overall, I do believe doable. Okay. Not 100% sure. Not out there, obviously, but I think it could be. 2,500 seemed pretty good. And that's a really good 25 and 3,500 are really good VFR altitudes. So, all right. Oh, we need to switch tanks. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, we're on our way. We're gonna be just outside. Uh, the control area for Cincy. Okay, currently 010 at 810 miles, scattered 4,700, 10 degrees. All right, so there is an RNAV. All right, so we could peel off and head to it. All right, I think we shall. All right, let me do a little demonstration here. All right, so we'll bring charts in again. Now I have changed it. Yeah, surprise. From high IFR down to VFR. It's not the greatest. It's nowhere near. Can I go to sectional? Sure can. All right, so total track from ZELID to the airport is 20 miles. Now, I am shocked there is no NDB approach. There's one right on the field. But anyway, so here's what we can do to find out what approach. Okay, we're lined up for runway 4 right now. So we have Jopta has a transition. Here, let's just actually look at the chart. Okay, so we can come into Jopta or we can come into Jagda and then turn in. I'm going to come in at Jopta and turn right on. So we'll come up here, hit the and add it to the route, and that'll give us the chart. All right, now we're not deviating yet. Ooh, we're getting into something. How we doing? Okay. All right, let's get this set up real quick and then get our butts headed that way. So we go to flight, well, not flight plan, sorry, procedures. Select arrival. Okay, clear. Try that again. Oh, approach. Jopta. And load. Procedure. One up. Enter. Okay, we're going to start down. Minimum for Jopta is no lower than 2,500. So we'll come down to 3,000. Okay, switch into VS, nose down, come down at about 500 feet a minute. Oh. All right, there we go. And of course, monitor your speed. All right, and we're coming down. Now, you can actually, by clicking the icon right next to the pin, and it'll put it on the chart itself, so you can see what we're doing. So you can see we're coming over to Jopta and then heading in. All right. Okay, we're getting through the layer at 5,300. And one last thing I need off that chart is 22,975 common traffic. Show you where that is on here. Okay, if you look at the chart here across the top, AWAS, that's our weather. Cincinnati Approach controls the airport when we're doing instrument flight. And Clermont County Unicom, or common traffic, where you would announce your intentions, 122,975. So just like before, and we'll get it when we get closer. Okay. Now, down here, obviously the frequency we don't deal with. Course will be 040. Now, Lyceic will be 2,500 feet on the, and our minimums conditional 1,300 and 460 above the ground. Missed approach is to Gerald, straight ahead. Hold, and here's our vertical. Minimum safes 30 out is 2,700. We'll be at 3,000, so we beat that. We'll be coming in at about 90, so 478 feet a minute-ish should be good. And minimums for us is a mile and 460. And then once we're on the ground, I always forget where Sporty's is. I want to say it might be up in here. I just can't remember. So we'll just plan to head up into here, find a spot. Okay, so that means we'll come off wherever, hopefully right here, taxi on back. Actually, just come on back. Maybe in one of these spots, maybe up here, we'll see. I don't know if they've done anything with this airport. I know a Century of Flight did, but whether anyone else did, I don't know. All right, mixture. Let's reset. Yeah, we'll keep it about there. That looks good. All right. Coming on the altitude. Just so you can see. Now you can go up or down. You can change the way it looks, and I can't remember where we do that. Here's some of it. So anyway, I'm not a big fan of this, but it, you know, it's better than nothing, some will say. I get that. All right, so final course is, hang on, let me make sure we're looking good. All right. Okay, 040 set. We don't need to worry about this, folks. Now, we should begin to pick up the NDB. This is a very tricky ordeal, I like to call it. You really got to know where your winds are so you track it right, so you're not potentially just following the needle, and as the wind pushes you, you're actually coming in at a different angle than what your desired course was. So very tough, and to me, very tough. I know some guys out there love it. Speaking of which, Batavia is 3011. Okay. Any others that might be closer? No. All right, so we are set. Proper tank. Seat backs are up. Belts are on. Electric fuel pump coming on here as we approach the fix. Get in a little closer. We still got a little ways to go. About 17 miles to go, and then we'll get fully set up. Come in and get her down. Well, we'll stay at 3,000 and get ready for the approach. Props up, fuel up, all the good stuff. Gear, we'll get it on final, and we'll be ready to land. Hope you all enjoyed a little different foray in flight with the Hyper Arrow. It just says this doesn't look right around the windows. So around those windows just don't seem right to me. All right, we're gonna cross the Ohio one more time, and then set up for our approach, I think. Yes, we'll cross it here and then again on approach in. So and by the way, I've been to this airport when I flew, not from Ohio U, but from Wright Pat, and really cool. I liked it. Sporty's was pretty cool, but this is a long time ago. I can't even imagine if they kept it the same. Wow, and they're still, I mean, it was phenomenal. Imagine, okay, you fishermen out there, You all have heard of Bass Pro Shops, right? What's it like when you walk in? Overwhelming. That's how Sporty's was to me. It really, it's not like your local pilot shop where you go in, there's a few radios here or a few headsets here, charts for the area and so forth. Oh my gosh. If you get a chance, take a look at the catalog. They have it. All right, we're coming in on Jopta. We're about 10 miles or less out, and we're going to descend on the inbound to Jagsa, and get down to 2,500. And I am going to slow us to 110, still above the white arc. Okay, see how that white arc is? We're still above it, so we're cool there. Yeah, no, I love playing with some of the gauges. It just, the fact you can blow, okay, Thronda, you can blow all, okay, the altimeter. Oh, oh, that's right. You can, by clicking the altimeter, put it in millibars, HEPA, and run that way with your altimeter. Okay, we're definitely above our minimum safe altitude of 3,700, albeit by 300 feet. Whoop, that was wrong. Hey, we picked up some rain. What do we do? Along with us? All right, here we go. All right, approach checklist, folks. Uh, as soon as we make the turn. All right, down to 2,500. These nice displays today in these cockpits, geez. And just amazing. Who'd have thought in a single engine aircraft back in the day I flew, we'd see the ability to see our routes like you guys in the airliners. That was just becoming a big thing in the 80s. All right, here comes that turn. And we slow a little bit more. Start looking for our airport. I do not see our runway, folks. Part of me wants to say up here. I do believe that is our runway. Although I can't make it out, I just think I see the pappies. All right, let's get on track here, folks. We are on final. Clermont County traffic, Piper November 1089 Quebec, 6-mile final for runway 4. And gears down. Little low. I lined up on a taxiway? I certainly am. Okay, wind is quartering, okay. And Clermont County traffic, Piper 1089 Quebec, 3-mile final 4. Hey, flaps full. Put your predictions in, folks. All right, about 85. I hate this. Boy, I hate the way this thing steers. Give me a second, folks. Did I set this plane up right? I really hate that I still do that, and I didn't realize I had the yaw set wrong. Not sure why y'all had it wrong. No. But I watched a video that Austin put out about dynamics in planes and the first things we should do trying to figure out why it isn't doing what we want it to. Yeah. Okay. is set all the sliders to the left, 0 basically, and that should improve. And he wished he'd have never even put that ability in. Yeah, the flaps are a handle in here. I really like that, because I actually had an one of my only emergency, where the alternator switch may have been not pressed in all the way, or it may not have been working. Maintenance says they did a full test and it appeared to be working. Okay, I'll go by your words. You're the guys that fix them. Hang on, I lost a page here. There we go. But anyway, on the way back, it was night. I couldn't talk with anyone in the approach. We were VFR, so it really didn't matter. But when I got down to Cincinnati, down to University Airport from Columbus, Port Columbus, I really began to notice there were some problems. More and more things just weren't like they were supposed to be. And like I said, either the alternator switch was not turned on or fully turned on, or what. But in a Cessna, they're electric flaps. So I actually had the potential for asymmetrical flaps. Now, granted, in these things, it's not that bad of a thing. Still a bad deal. Just, I don't remember this kind of parking. All right, and this is where you would get out and push it back. Hang on a second. I want to check something out here. Just going to go to the ramp. All right, we'll just park here. So let's finish this up. Stopping the engine, flaps are up. Trim set electrical fuel pump I've already turned off. Air conditioners off. Avionics off. And propeller full increase. I should have done that on approach. That's my bad. Throttle closed. And closed. All right, and we're here. Let's go ahead, open the door. All right, welcome into Sporty's, folks. Granted, they're probably closed. And granted, I should have turned the other way. No biggie. Hey, you know what? Let's call out. All right, make sure the brake is set. I've never used that thing before. That was pretty simple. All right, so we're here, folks. I hope y'all enjoyed. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Sporty's is right behind me, but again, it's been a long, long time since I was ever out here. So there you have it, folks. Beautiful, fun run into here. Let's see how things stacked up. Okay, I got one flight tracker, 269. Not bad. That would be more feelable in the plane like this. The one we like to use, Sim Toolkit, 187, 69 knots, a little slow. All right, so let's clear that out. Complete the flight. And give it a second. Here we go. All right, so there's our flight again, folks. Real fun. Up here, like I said, Sierra Club I flew for here. And here, by the way, just flying out of there, just to give you a little sense of reality, so to speak. Albany is a small town. One of those, if you ever watch the show Hee Haw, Albany, Ohio, population 300. Yeehaw. You know, get what I'm saying? Very small. Um, it didn't appear that way on the departure. Athens, as you can see, is a little ways up. And no, I don't think. no, it was not along the Ohio. It was along a different river. And now I'm going to have to figure that out. Anyway, so we flew down towards Portsmouth, cut over at West Union to catch our nav in. Sunken Lunken we've been to many months ago, right there. So just kind of a lay of the land where I used to do my flying, real world. Right, few details. Hour-and-a-half flight, 92 miles, 31 kilograms of fuel. Like we've been through, 187 feet a minute, 69 feet or knots, and 1.2 on the G's. Not bad. And, I mean, overall, not bad. It's a non-precision airport, so you don't have the landing, although they showed them. We did pretty good. 400 feet from the threshold and 5 feet off the center line. So really a nice thing. 75-foot wide runway, so a little narrower. I've been in some pretty narrow. Oh, let's just take a second. I don't think that's Sporty's the way I remember it. Nothing says, folks, the way I remember it is the way it is. So, yeah, I can't make out where it is on the field, but pretty cool. Neat little airport nonetheless. Still think this is it. But anyway, great time, great flight, folks. I hope you enjoyed. I wish my mind wasn't as hazy as it was thinking it was tomorrow, wherein I do have a pop-up meeting that I wasn't expecting to come up. So, shouldn't affect our flights, though, barring anything else tonight. So I hope you all enjoyed. And we're going to go ahead, sign off, and let you all enjoy your evenings. And wish you all the very, very best. Just make sure this one thing, folks, from Romans 10:9. If you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, believe in your heart, your whole heart, folks, not just wishy-washy, but I mean truly, deeply believe Jesus is Lord, God raised him from the dead, you will be and are saved. Really good news, folks, to live by. Very good news. So we'll wrap it up. Y'all have a great night. Again, tomorrow we may kick off early. Kind of stay tuned to Discord, and we'll see you then. LA to Denver. God bless. See you then.